go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues go marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. When the Blues go marching in. Oh, when the Blues
Do you bleed blue? If you do, this is the show for you. The Bluenote Fan Report, hosted by the Hawaii Blues Fan. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues Fan, and this is the Bluenote Fan Report. What, you may ask, is the Bluenote Fan Report? This is a fan's fan view at the St. Louis Blues. If you're not a Blues fan, you still might like what I got to say. So open your eyes, open your ears, and let's hear what's going down in the NHL playoffs. The game ones are done, and boy, were they exciting. They were absolutely, amazingly exciting. Playoff hockey is so different from any other sport. It just grabs you and brings you in, and you see it in game one. The intensity is there. There's no team that doesn't believe that they can win the cup, with one exception, and I'll talk about that later. Blues had a wonderful game, but so did other teams. I don't want to just focus on the Blues during these playoffs. I'm going to focus on all the teams during these playoffs. I'm going to cover all the series slightly. I'm going to get a little bit of hold of everything, and I'm going to mention a drive to 300. You're going to be part of that drive. I'll explain that later. So let's get started, and let's do a playoff view of first series we're going to talk about. We're going to go into the East. We're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The best team against the bottom team in the East, the bottom team to get in. Not the worst team in the playoffs, but the bottom team to get in. I thought that this was going to be an absolute sweep. I thought the Lightning, 62 wins. To me, maybe the second or third best total ever. I do asterisk that win total a little bit, and I'm going to explain it quickly. So back in, I think it's 95, 96, or it might have been 96, 97, somewhere right around in there, the Detroit Red Wings won 62 games. Just an amazing team that year. That was the Russians' years. I mean, they had the Offs and the Fedorovs and the Tisanovs and the Milanovs and the Huanovs and the Uanovs, and they were a powerful team. John Casey, I think it was John Casey. Chris Osgood was their goalie at the time, and yeah, it was Osgood, and he faced right around 15 or 16 shots a game. They just did not let you shoot on them. I mean, his save percentage his goals against was minimal. Save percentage was up there a little bit, but his goals against was minimal. He just didn't face shots. Well, the difference in this team's 62 wins, and Tampa Bay's 62 wins, is the tie. During Detroit's era, there was the tie. And a lot of teams, once you got into that overtime period, you played for the point. You didn't try and win the game. You played back. The 5 minutes were boring. Right? And a lot of teams did it. Why go out there? Because if you lost the game, you got nothing. That's why the NHL, about 10 years ago-ish, changed the rule. Might have even been a little bit longer. Changed the rule. Put in the overtime loss and kind of adjusted. And now they call it just overtime, but at one time they called it overtime loss. They played with how they do it. And now in Tampa's wins, they have at least 6 shootout wins. Okay, that's fine. I give you that they're shootout wins, but it's still different than a tie, and that's why their 62 don't mean as much. It's a little bit under the Detroit's to me. And yes, I'm a Blues fan, and I just said Detroit's team was probably the best team in the league ever. I'm an honest hockey fan. And there's the difference. There's the thing that I think a lot of people don't get or don't understand, is that when you come down to it, I am far and above anything else a hockey fan. I love my Blues, but I love hockey. I will watch the playoffs even when the Blues are out. I watched the majority of the playoffs last year. I will continue to do that. That's who I am. So now that I've digressed and let my ADHD run away, and I'm probably got a little running through here. Now let's talk about what's going on with Columbus and Tampa. Tampa jumped out to an incredible 3-0 lead. I mean, they just controlled that game all the way through. It was Tampa. Problem is, Tampa got in their own heads, and believed that they were done playing. They went into a prevent defense, and Columbus said, hello, their young European rookie, and I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, and I'm filming this kind of on the quick, so I'm not going to get, I think it was Hedman, so that could be wrong, went out there, and that turned out to be a theme in this year's playoffs that we'll talk about in a little bit, is rookies really coming through, or non-playoff performers in the past coming through. That's what we've seen in this game. Columbus pulls it out, takes the 4-3 win, and shocks the Tampa Bay Lightning. Today they will play their game number 2. I don't think that's happening again. I think this is where the belt comes out, or the paddle comes out, and Tampa is going to absolutely just go out there and wax that rear end. That's what I believe is going to happen there. Drop down, and we get to the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. Bruins got the number 2 seed, Maple Leafs number 3. They went into Boston, and they said, hello, Boston. Beautiful 4-0 win, and a rare, very rare, short-handed penalty shot. This is the Toronto team a lot of people thought was there last year. The addition of Jonathan Tavares has been incredible. I don't see Toronto beating Tampa when it gets there. However, this team's different, and they have a chance. I'm not going to take that away from them. They play Boston again tomorrow, not today. And my feeling is that Boston's going to try and come back, though I'm giving the edge to Toronto. I can see this being a five-game series right now with what happened. We'll stay in the East, and we'll move upwards to the number 1 seed Washington Capitals and the number 4 seed or number 7th overall Carolina Hurricanes. And boy, did this have deja vu written all over it. The Capitals went out to a 3-0 lead, and the playoff performers were the ones. They had their rookie, again, another European, I can't think of his name, scored 2 goals. Ovechkin gets a goal. It's up 3-0. And lo and behold, the Storm Surge decides to come back. You know, this is the playoffs. Teams want to play. Every team in the playoffs, most teams believe they have a shot at the cup. Once you're in, you're in. That's all that counts. That's all that matters. You play the teams in front of you. Carolina did that. However, they came up short. The Capitals ended up getting an empty netter, take a 5-2 lead, and a 1-0 series lead. This game too will again be on Saturday. And I do look for much of the same. I can see and I said this in a preview, that I can see the Hurricane winning 1 at home, but that's all I see them winning. Now we move up to the Premier Series in the East. This is the one that a lot of people were talking about. Toronto and Boston was one of them, but the next one, this was Pittsburgh and the Islanders. And Pittsburgh doesn't matter. I mean, they won a cup from the 4 seed. They won their cup against the Sharks. They were a 4 seed. They had a really rough start to the season. They came in as a 4 seed, and they went out and did what they had to do and won a cup. Had a rookie goalie even. They're a tough, tough team. But I had said it, a lot of people, they're the 3 seed, a lot of people had them favored. I felt that Barry Trotz, who won the cup last year with the Caps, now with the Islanders, was going to go out there and show everyone how to beat the Penguins. He knows how to do it. He's going to do it. And I thought, knockout, they were going to shock the world. They went out there, they played good, they played strong, they played hard, they won the game. That's 1 win. I think that they have to take the 2 wins at home to loosen up the stress in Pittsburgh. That building's going to be amazing. This series starts tomorrow, if I'm right, or today. Is it today? No, it might be tomorrow. I think this one goes on tomorrow. The 3 of the 4 series go on tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to see what happens in this one. Actually, no, this one, I take it back. This one's today. This one is today. My bad. So that's the 4 East series. Now we'll move into the West. We'll talk about the West a little bit, and we'll scoot out my way to the Pacific Division. And the bottom part of that, this is 2 teams that absolutely hate each other. The Sharks and the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, my buddy Louis Principe out there in Vegas, man, I love you to death. But that roughness, that just trying to pick fights when you're getting your ass whipped, that's desperation, and you can't show that in Game 1. The Sharks just dominated this game through and through. However, I got to tell you, I'm going to do some power rankings later, and I don't rank the Sharks very high. I mean, maybe you might put them up higher, and my reason for that is that these 2 teams are going to take a lot out of each other, and that's going to hinder either one of them moving forward. Good on the Sharks for getting that win. It's showing you, and you know what? Maybe this is good for the Knights too, to have a little bit of that playoff adversity, because they really haven't had it. The only playoff adversity they've had was losing the cup in 5. You know what? They got to the cup in their first season. I don't count that as adversity. Really don't. Getting a team you don't like in the first round and losing on the road as bad as you did, yeah, that one. I have a feeling the Sharks in Game 2 too. I think that's going to move that way. So now we move up to the game that happened yesterday, the Flames and the Avalanche. And I said all but one team wanted to win a cup. I'm telling you, a lot of people said that the Avalanche played hard and they came out there. I'm an eye test guy. I believe in the eye test. I believe not just in the score sheet, but the eye test. And I got to tell you that my eye test was a little weird. I seen them play hard and I seen them play chippy. I also felt like this was a team that was just happy to be there. No, the Avalanche just felt like they were happy to be there. They didn't back into the playoffs, but because they separated themselves from Phoenix as early as they did, in the process, towards the end, they separated them and they didn't have that much to play for. They could have bumped up to 7th place, but really, this team just feels like it. Happy to be there again. Oh, we made it twice in a row. That's enough. Let's just hang in there. We got Calgary. Calgary looked good. And I mean, and when I talk about the eye test, a couple days ago, me and Mike Dante did our playoff preview, and I had said that I thought the X factor on that team was going to be Matthew Tkachuk. His chippiness, the way and if that team didn't rally around Keith Tkachuk, right? And if they keep doing that, yeah, I see this one being a 5 or 4 game sweep. I don't think the Avs have a chance. Now let's move up above us. Dallas and Nashville. Thank you, Dallas. Dallas went there and held on to a 3-2 win, and that was beautiful. It scares me, but it was beautiful. It was the type of things that you want to see. You want to see a team get out there and fight. That says, you know what, just because we had a worse record doesn't mean that we can't win a game. We can't win 2 games. We can't win 3 games. Oh, maybe we can get to the next round. Dallas played like that. Nashville played like a team that was just going to beat them. Okay, we can beat them. We can beat them. You know what, Nashville, keep that attitude. Keep that attitude. Because a lot of Blues fans really don't want to face the Stars. I don't give a crap. I'll face whoever. It's the teams put in front of you. That's who you beat. To win a cup, you got to beat the teams put in front of you, no matter what. To be the best, you got to beat the best. So if that's the team that's next, put them in front of us. Let's go. They were our number 1 seed, and we beat them in 7. Don't forget that. Well, before I get on to the Blues and the Winnipeg Jets, I want to reiterate something that I talked about, because it absolutely came to fruition in Game 1s. The 3 lessons, I can't count my fingers, that we all learned in last year's playoffs. Lesson number 1. Previous success is not indicative of future results. Just because you beat a team in the regular season doesn't mean you're going to beat them in the playoffs. We seen that coming, right? Columbus, they got owned by Tampa, but they went up. They went up. Just the playoffs are a different animal. It's a new season. The cream will rise to the top. The teams that are good are going to rise to the top. And just because you didn't have a super regular season, a la LA Kings 2012, doesn't mean you can't be that team to go. I'm really looking forward to see what happens here in this series. But just remember, the cream rises to the top. Rule number 3, I'm skipping 2. I'm going to go to rule number 3, or lesson number 3. The unexpected is as likely to happen as the expected. Teams that were expected to win. The unexpected teams won. Doesn't mean anything yet, but it just means that it's crazy, and as much as an expected thing could happen, the unexpected could happen. And let it happen. Watch what's going on. It was, an unexpected result with Tampa just sitting back on their heels, playing prevent defense and preventing themselves from winning the game. The Capitol almost doing the same thing. Calgary Flames going out and doing a huge win. You got to see that. And right now, something to remember. Home teams, the record for home teams is 4-4. Half the home teams won, half the home teams lost. Very interesting for Game 1s. Now, rule number 2, or lesson number 2, kind of can't play that yet, but lesson number 2 was, excuse me, and I just forgot. Oh boy, man, when you're trying to get this and say it right, sometimes it just slips. Previous roadblocks do not preclude future success. Some big teams lost in Game 1, just like the Capitals lost Games 1 and 2 last year. Jets lost Game 1. Yes, I haven't talked about that yet. Tampa Bay lost Game 1. Haven't talked about that yet. But these are 2 teams that are, in ways, expect. The Predators lost Game 1. Three kind of upsets right off the get-go. Does that preclude them from success? No, not necessarily. But that lesson has still yet to be written. So let's move into the Blues versus the Jets. Wow. That was a tale of 2 games. I sat there and I got to watch the whole game. I'm really lucky on that one. I don't get to watch tonight's game. I get to listen to it. But it just, watching that first period, you're wondering what the Blues are doing. They were not a solid, good team. I got to pause this. The Blues played kind of iffy there, and Patrick Laine, who's had a rough end of the season. What the hell was that? Oh, that must have been Patrick Laine's shot. Man, that was a rocket. That was an absolute freaking rocket. He went high glove on Bennington, and that has been what I thought was a weakness for Bennington. But I can't. I wanted to fault him on that shot, but I can't. Right? I just can't. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? I gotta get out of here. It's the Bennington train! Boy, I guess it's time for me to jump on board the Winnington train. You know, wow, that kid, 25-year-old, but he just came out there. And then the tweets. I'm going to hand this about the tweets. You know what? It doesn't matter to me. You know, what you said when you were 19, I said shit when I was 19. You know, he's not 44 and saying it and then dealing with it when he's 50. He was 19. He aligned himself with the political climate of that time. And me being a vet, I have to be very careful how I expound on some things, because when I see, let's just say, it was a sign of the times, the tweets don't mean a damn thing. My opinion only. Second period comes up, the Blues start playing a little bit harder. Winnipeg did play harder, however, no goals. And then the third period comes. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets very interesting. You see these jerseys, these rally towels that I have on the side? I was doing a live in the St. Louis Blues Lounge. I picked them to do the lives for Game 1. I got 30, 35, almost 40 views at one time. It was pretty cool. I like seeing that. I wish I could get that many views to these videos, but hey, I'll take it in the live. And somebody made a suggestion. You should flip the towels. Well, that's what I did. I flipped the towels. Well, in doing that, David Perron decides enough of this sheesh, and a rocket right through traffic and into the back of the net. 1-1. This game absolutely looks like it's going to overtime. Absolutely looks like it's going to overtime. Nope. Pat Maroon, who people think hasn't had a great season, and I beg to differ. He has been the exact type of guy that we paid to come in here for him to be. He's a pest. He's a pain in the ass. He's a fighter along the boards. He doesn't give up on the puck. And he got in there, got the puck to an open Bozak, who just buried it. 2-1 Blues, 1-0 Blues. That is playoff hockey at its best. If you are a new fan, if you didn't get to see, since you didn't get to see playoffs last year, and this is the first time you're seeing the playoffs, that is a playoff game. I've seen lots of games like that in my lifetime, and I love them. Absolutely love them. Amazing game to watch. Today, 3:30 my time, 8:30 St. Louis time. Blues Jets game 2, and I'm thinking about this one. I want to see the Blues win this one. I really do. I would love to come home up 2-0. The whiteout, Jets fans were like this in the third period. Yeah. Blues fans, if we get that low and you're like this, go to F home. Because we don't need you in that building. You cannot, until the puck until the last final whistle, until that horn blows. You have to put out that energy. They need to feel that energy in that building the entire time. That is playoff fanhood. Let Tom Calhoun know. Start a chant. If you're going in a game, when Sunday, start the "We bleed blue" or "Bleeding blue with you," "Bleeding blue with you," "Bleeding blue with you." Let Tom hear that. "Bleeding blue with you." He'll know. Get out there. Start that chant. One of my fans that's going to the game, do it. If they have signs, write on the sign, "Bleeding blue with you." Get other people to write it. Make it a thing. Yes. Okay. Spouted off enough about that. So when I decided to do something new, and I haven't done it before, and I decided to rank the playoff teams, the power rankings after each round of games, each set of games. So game one for round one, game one, round one, game two, etc. And I'll do that up to the end of the playoffs, till the finals. When you're down to 1-2 teams, I'm not going to do that, but up to the final four. So now I'm going to go ahead and tell you who my power rankings are. So I'm going to start with my bottom five. My bottom five teams, very bottom is the Avalanche. I just feel like they were happy to be there, right? And they're not going very far. Calgary's going to wax that ass. Number 15 was the Canes. Yes, the Canes played well against against the Caps, but I just don't see. I mean, I don't see them getting more than 1 or 2 wins. I just don't feel that. Number 14, I had the Blue Jackets, and that's probably something that I dropped them that low. I just think that not so much the Blue Jackets won the game as Tampa lost the game. I would like to see the Blue Jackets move up a little bit more, play a little bit harder, and get another win. I just don't think it's going to happen. 13, I had the Pens. That might surprise someone that I dropped them that low. I think that that loss, ESPN talking to me, that loss may have, I think it stung them a lot, and it may be something hard for them to come back from. Then I have at 12 the Knights, and you may not like me having the Knights at 12. I just think that series is going to be such a physical beat-up series that it's going to leave whichever team gets out of it in a bad position. Just my thought process. And with that, so at 11, I have the Jets. Now, yes, I know the Jets had 99 points, same as the Blues, but that loss, that third period loss, that dejected look on Jets fans, I have a feeling that's going to resonate. And I think that the Blues can take that and use it, and they need to use it. They need to score early in this game. They have to let the Jets know that they still are running this series. If they do that, yeah, the Jets will stay at 11. If they don't, the Jets could easily jump up. I have the Stars at 10. Yes, they did beat Nashville. I did like the way they played Nashville. However, I do think Nashville is a stronger team, and that Nashville could prevail unless, same thought process, that loss stings them. A 3-2 loss like that, I don't think that stings as much. I have the Sharks at 9. Maybe a little lower than some people would have them. I just think, again, it's the physicalness of the series that's going to preclude them from getting much further. Bruins at 8. Same thing with the Bruins and the Leafs. They're going to beat each other up. However, these are two very good teams. There's no ifs or buts in my mind. They are two cup-worthy teams. I have the Predators at 7. Enough said. The Leafs at 6. I have the Islanders at 5. That was a little impressive to me. Even though they went to overtime in their building, they didn't let any adversity stop them. I give them the credit. I thought they were well played. This is the one that's everyone's going to go, well, you're a freaking homer. Yeah, maybe, but I have the Blues at 4. What they did in the third period was impressive. Real impressive with that building and that whiteout. I'm hoping that they can silence it again and silence it early. The Flames at 3. Yeah, that was pretty impressive what they did to the Avs. I have the Caps at 2. And yes, even though the Lightning lost that game and played prevent, I still have them at 1. I still think they're the best team in the league. It's going to take more than, oh shit, to make me forget who they are and what they are. We were what they thought they were. Denny Green there. That's my power rankings. I'm going to try and do it after each set of games. So round 1, game 1. Round 1, game 2. So I'll probably try and do power rankings Sunday night, Monday morning before the Blues play. Now, one of the things that I'm going to kind of back away from a little bit during these playoffs are the About the Fan segment. And part of the reason guys, these games are every other day, and it is really hard for me right now to search for you. I just can't do it. I need you to come to me. If you want to be a fan of the game, send me that email. Send me that tweet. Send me that Facebook Messenger. Send the information to me so I can help you. I'd love to make you a fan of the game, but I need you to send me the 3 to 5 pictures and a short bio about why you're a fan. If you're going to the game, pictures of you at the game, things like that. Send it to me. Same thing with tats. Send me your tattoos. But don't just, and this is the problem I have with tattoos. I have a whole bunch of but I have one picture. No information. And I don't want to disrespect your tattoo by going, here it is, I got nothing to tell you about it. Right? That's not exciting. Send me the different pictures, different angles, Sometimes you see things differently. Just a one shot's not enough. Get the 3 angles of it. Let it show. Let it be, you're proud of it. You put it on your body, so you have to be proud of it. Show it. Tell me where you got it done. Tell me who did it, unless you don't want to. But at least let me know where you got it done. Things like that. Give me some story behind it. Let me show and highlight you. Pets of the game. Same thing. I need your help. You got to show me them. You got to send them my way. And then I got one fan cave that I want to show. I haven't shown yet. I think I'm going to save this until the Blues are in real dire straits, and we'll bring that fan cave up. I think the guy who sent me the stuff knows who I'm talking about. Blues fans, you have to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the Hawaii Blues fan, guy, living 4,000 miles away, an ocean away, on an island with about as many people as there are in the St. Louis metropolitan area, is bleeding blue with you. I always be bleeding blue with you. And I need your support. I talked about the drive to 300. I'm right now just under 280 subscribers. I want to get to 300 before this series ends, whichever way it ends. I need you, and I want to views. God, I want to get one of these. I keep saying my goal is 1,000. I haven't even gotten one over 250 yet. I need you to share them. I really do. I need you to get out there, take these videos, share them on Twitter, share them on YouTube, and don't forget my new fan page. I started a page on Facebook called the Bluenote Fan Report. Get on there, like that page, show the love, share the post on there, post yourself. Make it a community of Blues fans. I do have an issue with my Hawaii Blues fan clan on Facebook. Somehow I got taken off as an admin. I'm working on it. Once I get that back up, I'll start using it more. But these are avenues for you to highlight your fanhood through me. Show me the love. Well, Blues fans, it's time to move on and time to get ready for some Blues hockey. Let's go Blues, because the Hawaii Blues fan is absolutely, positively bleeding blue with you. Aloha, mahalo, and I'll see you on the next show.